A listening teaching. The Mechanic, written by Wayama. An apprentice had been working in the workshop for almost 2 years. He was quick with his hands. He worked hard and was eager to prove himself. On one cold winter morning, an old utility vehicle arrived with a rattle somewhere beneath the bonnet. The apprentice listened. He grabbed his tools, I know what that is, and off he went, underneath the bonnet. And by lunchtime, he had replaced 2 parts. And by mid-afternoon, yet another. The young mechanic switched off the engine and looked confused. He stood back. The sound was still there. At that moment, the oldest mechanic in the workshop appeared. He'd repaired engines for longer than the apprentice had been alive. And he asked quietly, "Would you start that again?" The engine rattled, and the old mechanic stood for a moment. Stood without speaking, just quietly wiping the grease from his hands. That's enough, and the apprentice switched off the engine. The old mechanic lifted up the bonnet. Having a look around, he touched a few components, and then he lowered the bonnet again. Started once more, and the engine rattled. He walked around the vehicle. He listened from the front, then from one side, then from behind. He crouched down beside the exhaust and rested one hand on the metal and waited. Then he smiled, reached underneath and tightened a loose exhaust bracket. The rattle disappeared. As they packed away their tools, the apprentice asked, "How did you know?" The old mechanic replied, "I didn't." The apprentice frowned. "You seem certain." And the elder smiled. "I wasn't listening for what I already believed. I was listening for what the vehicle was trying to show me." The apprentice stood quietly. After a while, the old mechanic added, "Most mistakes don't happen with poor repair. They begin when we stop listening too soon." The apprentice never forgot that winter morning, and years later people asked, "Why are you such a good mechanic?" And he would smile, place his hand on the next vehicle and simply say, "Let's listen first." Thank you for listening.